All right, check this out. I am not going to make the mistake. Opening the lid. I know somebody said that they pour their coffee without opening the lid and it works fine, but mine doesn't. So I open the lid and it works fine. I got a good one for you today. You guys ever been on a treasure hunt? You want to go on a treasure hunt? You ever seen movies about treasure hunts? You know, where they, like these famous comedies. Well, first I wanted to tell you something before I get into the treasure hunt. We're going on a treasure hunt today, all of us. It's going to be fun. I washed my phone under the sink this morning. iPhones are water resistant. They can fall in the pool. They can be in the water for up to 30 minutes. And so I use alcohol and different things because of the sunblock I have on my face, the oils on your face, the fingers, all these things, germs. So I use alcohol to try to wash the phone off, but it just seemed like it was still smudging, and I want to have the clearest video for you guys. So nothing works better than Dawn dish liquid. So I took my sponge over there and I put some Dawn on it. Hang on a minute. Oh, man, first sip of the day. Ah, thank you, Massachusetts Chip. Man, that's good coffee. I mean, that's really good coffee. I got half and half. You guys know I'm off the sugar. Man, I'm just thinking about this right now. Lost my train of thought about washing my phone. It's the best cup of coffee I ever had in my life. That's good coffee. I washed the phone with some Dawn dish liquid with my sponge. Got it all soapy. And then I ran it under the sink, kind of like quickly. And then I dried it. No harm. But when I plugged it in, it said, moisture detected, unplugged phone until moisture is gone to avoid a damage. And first I thought it was a text message because I can't see. I can't even see myself right now. And I plugged it back in. I saw that same message. So I put the glasses on and started looking at it. And I blew in the hole on the bottom of the phone. And I felt a little water come out of that hole. Naturally, there would be water in there because I ran it under the spigot. Oh, man, Chip, thanks for that coffee. That's the best cup of coffee I ever drank in my life. So we won't have any problem with it drying out in this desert heat, will we? Yeah, it'll be dry in a minute or two, and I'll plug it back in. But yeah, these phones are water resistant. You can run water over them. And it is phone. I took it off the case. I mean, I got it all cleaned up. That's my camera. Now, talking about treasure hunting. You say, where are you going with this, Baker? How would you like to seriously go with me on a treasure hunt today and find treasures? And guarantee each and every one of you to go along with me on this treasure hunt, we'll find them. Different treasures for each of us. Different ones. That's good coffee. Now, what are the treasures? How do we do it? What's the game? Well, I tricked you. Those of you who are still watching, this is Jesus Calling, Crushing It for Christ video. And it talks about getting some treasures today. And if you would be just willing to listen for a minute, I thought this was very inspiring. It's about finding some treasures. Yes, you. Watch this. May 23rd, it says, today, 2024, listen to this. Approach each new day with a desire to find me. Before you get out of bed, I've already been working to prepare the path that will get you through the day. This day. Before you get out of bed, He's already got a plan for you. You, not me, you and me. Before you get out of bed, I've already been working to prepare the path that will get you through this day. There are hidden treasures strategically placed along the way. Along today's path, there are strategic treasures. Some of the treasures are trials. Designed to shake you free from earth's shackles. I like that kind of a trial. I don't want to be shackled to this earth. Some of the treasures are trials designed to shake you free from earth's shackles. How encouraging. Others, here we go, are blessings that reveal my presence, sunshine, flowers, birds, friendships, answered prayer. I have not abandoned this sin-racked world. Racked. W-R-A-C-K-E-D. I have not abandoned this sin-racked world. I am still richly present in it. Search for deep treasure as you go through this day. You will find me all along the way. So if you just search today for treasures, you'll be, and notice and smell the roses, they say. Notice, like yesterday on the golf course. Oh my gosh, did I see God's presence yesterday? Did you not see it in those videos? He says that my presence, other blessings that reveal my presence, semicolon, sunshine, comma, flowers, comma, birds, comma, friendships, and then answered prayer. So you're going to get answered prayers. You're going to meet new friendships or friendships you already have. Those are blessings you're going to discover today in your treasure hunt. You're going to enjoy sunshine, flowers, the birds, the singing of them. Listen for them today. Then the scriptures that bring the author of this devotion today to this conclusion, to this inspiration, is the first one is a proverb. Now, proverbs are a teaching, part of the Bible, and it's Proverbs 16:9, and it's from the Amplified version of a Bible, which is more, amplified. A man's mind plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps and makes them sure. Now, we've read this scripture in these devotions already many times, where you can make your plans, but God has the last say. So all these people, like yesterday I made a video about Social Security. The vast majority of people that respond to those videos that I make about Social Security, and everybody I've ever met in the streets, are all on board and all say they got their Social Security at 62, with exception of a few. And they weren't like, you're a fool if you took it. They didn't even say it that. They just took it later, and I forget the reasons. There's various ones. But those people are very far and few. I ask everybody that's my age, did you get your Social Security at 62? Yes. Regret it? No. So the point is, these people that make their steps, that make their plans, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then meanwhile, like the Bible story talks about the guy that did real well. He had a good harvest. He stacked his barns. He had them so stuffed, his 401, his savings. He said, I know what I'll do. I'll just keep working. I'll tear down these barns and build bigger ones, and I'll have tons. And then I'll sit back and say, you've done well. Now you can sit back and enjoy your life. That's good coffee. And the Lord said, you fool, for tonight your life will be required of you. So all these people, while I'm not saying, because I am telling people, plan your future, get out of debt, get ready to get your Social Security at 62. And so if you can plan to save money, and you quit your Netflix and all these other things you've got, and you can just keep that money in the bank, and you have some money. But as far as people that make these comments that are ridiculous, like, oh, I don't think working, after I get my Social Security. Well, look, if you got a Social Security check that can support you without working 1 hour, you got such a big check. I mean, maybe it's going to be a little bit bigger if you wait until you're 67 or 70, but, I don't know how. You got some big savings or something, but when you work this much compared to what you've been doing for 30 or 40 years, that's not work. That's healthy anyway. And it's a job you're choosing. You're not going out just to get a job to make money to pay your bills. People, they look at it, they just want to argue. And the fact is that most people that watch those videos are like, yeah, man, I can't wait to start living. I want to get my life for free. I want to get that free check. I want to start living a free life. I want to enjoy what youthful years I have before I turn that corner at 67 years old and start going down the other side of life, to where actually, you get another 5 or 10 years, and then you got another 5 years of dying, because you're going to be out of here at 75 to 80 years old. Most likely. That's the average, is 73 years old for a male. The ladies get a bonus. They get a few 4 or 5 more years. God bless them. Take care of those ladies out there. But folks, you're not going to live to be 100 years old. There are people, but they're not doing much. I mean, they're 100. You got to understand, at 62, you still got something going on. What are we doing? We talking about Social Security or Crushing It for Christ? We'll save that for another day. So the proverb says, make your plans. So make those plans, folks. Make your plans. But God's going to have the last say. If he tells you that you need to retire at 62 and you want that in your heart, he's going to take care of your needs. You don't have to worry about whether you got $1 million in a 401 or, this big pension or whatever. Most of us don't have that, folks. The vast majority of America do not have what these few that want to comment and talk about how well they did, when they probably half of it was given to them. They inherited it, or, they stepped in the right thing at the right time and came out smelling like a rose, or they earned it. They were smart. They started investing in real estate or whatever, and they were at the right place at the right time. They started putting money in the stock market. They got crypto. They bought gold. They went to the casino in Vegas and hit. However you got it, God bless you. I don't fault anybody for getting an inheritance or their parents left them something. I don't fault at all. But I meet so many. In Florida, the parents died and they were, had their house forever, and they gave it to their kid. And the kid's got this house that's worth $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000, and there's nothing owed on it. And now their life is set because they inherited a home from their parents, and God bless them. But this isn't money that they went out and, they put in and they saved. They were just a very fortunate person. I don't have family like that. I'm the richest person in my family, and I got nothing. I got the Lord, though. All my needs are met, and one thing I do have is plenty of money. It's a saying, folks. It's a saying. Anyway, the next scripture, after you can make your plans, but God's going to direct your steps. So don't be so boastful. Always be open. Have a plan, but let God direct your steps. The next one is from the book of Colossians in the 2nd chapter, verses 2 and 3. My purpose is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, so that they may have the full riches of complete understanding, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all treasures of wisdom and knowledge. We got to read that again. That was packed full of nuggets, full of treasure. My purpose, Paul writes to the church of Colossia, my purpose is that they may be encouraged in heart and united in love, so that they may have the full riches of complete understanding, in order that they may know the mystery of God, namely Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. So his purpose is that you will be encouraged in your heart and united in love with God, so that you may have the full riches and understanding to know the mysteries of God, like I'm trying to explain to you, in whom all hidden treasures and wisdom and knowledge are from. So as you start to glean and understand, when you walk around looking for your treasure hunt today, that you understand that when a trial comes, it's to unshackle you from earth's shackles. And when you smell the roses and look at the flowers and listen to the birds sing and look how happy they are. And they don't spin around and sew. They don't have 401 accounts. They're not worrying about everything. And they go to bed at night. And each day the Lord feeds them. Remember the Old Testament when Moses got the Jews freed from Israel, from Egypt? They went to the desert and they tried to get manna, which God fed them with manna. And they tried to collect more so they wouldn't have to go out again the next day. And it spoiled that night. They made them go out each day and find what they needed to eat. And there was plenty. But some of them tried to, collect more, but it would go to rot. So God says, don't worry about tomorrow. I'm going to provide for you. So each day, you don't have to keep worrying. Did I put enough in that 401? Have I worked long enough? Do I have enough to get me through? All these people in these comments, I read these things, they must not know God, or they're not trusting in God, because if you did, you'd be like me. Folks, I don't have pension. I have some savings. I don't have inheritances. I don't have one even coming. I have what I'm creating each day, week, month, and God is meeting my needs. When the pandemic came and put me out of business, I got the big time unemployment as a self-employed person, along with other millions of gig workers that normally never get unemployment. He saw me through. And because it didn't amount to much, because my income was very low as a self-employed person, the government came out with the $600 a week. I got that. Then the government gave us some stimulus checks. I got that. Then the government offered business loans and PPP and all kinds of things to millions and millions of businesses. And because I was just a one-man entrepreneur, even though I got a small compared to the millions of dollars that millions of businesses got, I received help. And ever since then, to be honest with you, my life has gone up. Before the pandemic, every year, my life went up. I used to say that all the time. That was another one of my sayings. Each year has gone up for me. I've never had a down year and then back up or like this. Ever since I've worked for myself, ever since I've been trusting in God for my needs, ever since I've been single, my life has gone up. And guess what? If you look at my tax returns, if you want to look at my financials, you would say, compared to millions of other people in this country, in fact, probably the majority of them, even you, when you had your pretty good high paying, I did not make that kind of money. But you know what I did have? I had no debt. I had no bills. I've always been a minimalist. I've always been absolutely owe nobody. Nothing. I had some car loans. That was it. But when I roommated and rented a cottage and a few things I've done in my life, which is most of my life since I've been single, I only paid $500 a month for my housing. So a $300 lease payment on a car, which was my business to go around and sell, together they didn't even equal what people were paying for rent or a mortgage. So it's how you put the numbers together. It doesn't matter what you call it. If it's a rent, if it's a buy, if it's a lease, if it's a loan, if it's a grant, if it's a this, if it's a that. As long as you have enough and God supplies the difference, you're golden and you're healthy. And that's the main thing. As long as you love and you have your health, what else do you need? I mean, I see people every day. Their countenance is just, they haven't had a smile in years. And they're driving around in a brand new Mercedes and a BMW. They worry about everything. They judge everyone. No one meets their standards. Everyone is below them. They are so exalted. They are so high on themselves. And they have this car and this home and this clothing and this purse and this jewelry and this watch and all this stuff. And they're in a position over people. And they use that and they abuse that. And they're the saddest people on the face of the earth. And people that don't have anywhere near that, that know God, that have their needs met, that express love towards everybody, that are honest, that are moral, and have their health, are running around smiling, they're enjoying their family, they're doing everything, and they could care less. I mean, they look at these things and they go, wow, it must be nice. But you know what? They don't covet. They're not envious. If they wanted it, they could probably achieve it. Maybe God would even give it to them. But God gives them, and each of us, what our lives should be. He says right there that before you wake up, before you get out of bed, I have already been working to prepare the path that will get you through this day. And that's not for everybody. That's for only people that know him. If you don't know him, you don't know what your path is. You don't know about the preparation. He would have one for you. There's a door for you there to open up. All you got to do is come to him. But so many people are all on themselves and their money and their 401 and all that crap. And God, well, first of all, God might not even exist to them. Or I believed in him. I used to go to church, or I used to read the Bible. Yeah, I believe, but I ain't worried about that right now. I'm worried about it when I die. That when I get sick, I get cancer, I'll start talking to him. When the bullets start going over my head, when I'm in a foxhole, when crap hits the fan and something happens, when I get really, really sick, oh, you'll be praying then, won't you? And guess what? He'll be still sitting there ready to help you too. He really will. But meanwhile, look at all the days you're missing of enjoyment and happiness and love and peace by just being what he commands. Love your neighbor as yourself. Treat others like you want to be treated. Folks, you don't have to worry about your bills and how much money you're going to have if you get your Social Security at 62. You ain't got to worry about none of that crap. All you got to do is worry about trusting in him and talking to him every day. And he says right there, and he can't lie. Seek me first and all these things shall come to you. So when I read comments about, oh, what am I going to do with this? Or I can't do that. Or these people that say, oh, don't take advice from a guy in a trailer. Don't take advice from them, folks. That's the last one you want. All right. The last one is Isaiah in the Old Testament, 33:6. Chapter 33, verse 6. He will be the sure foundation for your times, a rich store of salvation and wisdom and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the key to this treasure. Folks, there it is. He will be the sure foundation for your times. That is your foundation. That is your foundation. Him. A rich store of salvation and wisdom and knowledge. Man, tell me how much you put on your money versus salvation, your salvation, forever, living in eternity in heaven, wisdom, and knowledge. I mean, you got that. You got it all. The fear of the Lord is the key to this treasure. The fear of the Lord. Does that mean to be fearful of God? No. I've heard this talked about so many times by preachers and different things that I've read, I've learned. It's not, it's to respect, it's to be reverent. It's to be like fearing your parents. You're not afraid of them, but you fear the judgment you would get if you knew you did the wrong thing. You know they're watching. You cannot hide from him. You want to go out and steal? You want to do your brother wrong, your mother wrong, your friend wrong? You want to type something wrong? You want to do something on social media wrong? You think that you're hidden in your basement? You're not hidden. He sees it all. You better fear the Lord, because there will be judgment. But the fear of the Lord, by showing him that you're doing things when people aren't looking at you, when you're driving the speed limit, when you're obeying the laws, when you're treating people with respect, when you're acting in love. And they recognize it because you're treating them nice. But when God sees this, he rewards you. And then those treasures along your path each day start popping up. The blessings start coming in. I mean, I can't tell you how many this week I've had. It's just, I'm almost afraid, or not afraid really, but God, I sure hope they don't run out. I hope he's got a lot left, because man, this is good. This is a good life. And it's a simple thing. It's just basically, look, I still can think evil thoughts. I can still get angry. I can still say the wrong, unkind things. I can misuse the English language. I can do a lot of things. But a lot of things I will never do again, that I do have control of, that I never slip up on. I pray that I don't. But these other little small infractions that go along the way, that our emotions can run quickly or something. But I catch myself. And I say, wait a minute. That's wrong. That's wrong. You don't want to lose any blessings. Better straighten out. So I don't react like I did when I was immature, when I didn't know God, when I didn't understand the rules, when I didn't fear the Lord, when I wasn't thinking of God. There were times in my life, I got to be honest with you folks, like everybody. You know, you start talking about God and you're like, don't give me that God stuff. God, the word God, makes some people just like, oh, are you going to be one of those, are you? Folks, don't hang your head when you say it. Give your testimony. Spread the good news. Bring other people into the fold. We're never going to stop crushing it for Christ videos. We're never going to hang our head when we say we're a Christian. We're going to turn this country around. We're going to turn this world around. And we're definitely going to start crushing it.